Okay, South Africa have gone 2-0 up in the series. This is after beating India in the second T20 by 4 wickets with 10 balls remaining. A spectacular performance by Heinrich Klaasen. The guy keeps on proving me wrong over and over again. Every single time I doubt his position in the side and what his role is, he proves me wrong every single time. So maybe I should stop counting my chickens before they hatch and start just looking at everybody equally and giving everybody equal praise and equal discrimination, or whatever the case may be. Or not discrimination is the wrong word. Uh, Negative criticism. That's the word I'm using for. But a great win by South Africa, 2-0 up in the series so far. A lot to talk about on the show. There's going to be a lot of debates again, I feel, about various different types of things, but I think it was a decent bowling display. I think it was good captaincy by Bavuma, the way he utilized his bowlers, particularly looking at the conditions and assessing and going according to that. I think there was great to see KG obviously get his 50th wicket. Congratulations to him too. I think it was an excellent performance from Heinrich Klaasen, the way he smacked that ball all over the park. Took him some time to get in, and then he went for it, and he really did. He took us home, well, almost, but he was the main guy in this particular chase, doing really well. South Africa. If you guys don't know what happened in the match, for some of the guys that maybe are only coming in here to watch the review, India posted 148 for 6, and the main bowlers on the day was obviously Heinrich Nokia, 2 for 36, but everybody contributed in some way. Keshav Maharaj, 1 for 12, 1 for 23 from Wayne Parnell, and 1 for 15 from KG. The Shams in North for 21. He's not to his best at the moment. It still looks like he's trying to get some rhythm going over here under his belt when it comes to his performances. Hopefully, we'll see more of that, and you'll get into the series maybe in the third one. So let's see what's happening. But before we get going, before we get started with this show, which is a call-in show, guys, you guys can have the opportunity to call in on the show and also give your thoughts. But before we get going, please subscribe to this channel. Please click that notification bell for all future videos. Don't forget to smash that like button, get involved with the live chat, do all of those things. Get involved with the super chat if you want us to read your questions. These review shows are probably one of the most popular shows. So a lot of comments come in the comment section. So if you want your comments or your questions to be read out, please get involved with the super chat. It is activated for you guys to go ahead and do so. But also get involved with the latest issue of Cricket Fanatics magazine. Download the latest issue. It's 100% free, straight to your inbox every single month. The link is on the screen as well as in the description. You can also become a patron today. Link is on the screen as well as in the description. Go to cricketfanaticsmag.com for all updates. We have a review already over there, a report already live by that he put up a report earlier on. It is live. It's on social media. It's on our website. So go ahead and read that if you've missed the match. So that are some of the. Now I've got all of that out of the way. Guys, let's get straight into today's video. A very good evening and welcome to Cricket Fanatics magazine. This is your review show. I'm your host, Khalid, and this is the show where we talk about everything that has to do with South Africa against India, second T20. And I've got a great panel with me today, guys, and I want to introduce them to you because it's nice to introduce them to you one by one. But we've got Seppo, we've got Umpo, we've got Werner. Welcome back, Umpo. Great to see everybody.
Yo,
Full panel, full house. So great to see everybody. Paul, I'm going to start with you because it's been a while since we see you. It's great to see you smiling. It's great to see you happy. What's your thoughts on the match? I'm not going to say anything right now. I want to hear your thoughts first before I give my opinions. Let's go around. Let's start with Paul, Werner, and then Seppo. What are your thoughts of this particular match?
Look, it was a good win. I enjoyed it. I really did. I think Timber in the first innings in his captaincy, he did well to identify that spin wasn't going to work. And to bowl them out for 149 on a tricky-ish wicket with the balls jagging back in. That was good. That was good. It reminded me of all those domestic SAT20 matches we've been watching, and you're getting like 140s. So like in the chase, I was like, nah, these guys know how to do this. They know the game plan. They've done the game plan many times over. Obviously, Reza coming in. There's lots of people who don't want Reza. I've seen, like, Reza's on a purple patch right now. Just unlucky that he got one that jacked back in. Timber's role is the role that Mark wants him to play. That's exactly what Mark and Graham had identified when they wanted Timber to play in T20s when they picked him in that England series in 2020. He's a really great foil for the team. He allows guys to not necessarily get into their shells, but allows guys to thrive. And you saw that a lot. I do think when Timber and Rassie bat together, it's a little bit of a situation because Rassie takes a very long time to get going, and Timber had to like try and push the run rate as it was going. He's a calculated man. He knew how it was going to work on the back end. Like when I saw it after 10 overs, we needed like 96. I thought, no, it's not. It's going to be hard, but we could do it. And Heinrich Klaasen came through and showed us miracles and played really well. And Heinrich's also been on a purple patch. He's had a great domestic ODI series, and he came through here. And it just so worked because it felt like the pitch got easier when he came in, especially when India were bowling their spinners, and you saw what happened to Chahal. Yeah, really happy for the team. I think Mark's done a great job with the strategy. Yeah, everyone's worried about chasing 200. I'm not worried. I think with this bowling attack, they'll do fine. This batting lineup, if you add Quinton into the side, you bring Aiden back in, they'll be fine. Going into Australia. And if you think about it, I think Australia will suit Timber's game a lot more because the ball comes onto the bat a lot better, and he can nudge and nurdle the way through. And that's the innings we wanted. That's the innings I think South Africa wanted, to get all the guys in and around to contribute. And Heinrich contributing as much as he has been a blessing in disguise. And yeah, look, let's get the series victory. Let's make India cry a little bit more. That's all I'm here for.
Yeah, I mean, Werner, it's a great opening from Umpo over there. And what I want to say is, like, let's we can talk about brands, or we can talk about all of these different types of styles of cricket, but what I would like to still remain true to is this is cricket. At the end of the day, yes, it's T20 cricket, but it still remains cricket. And conditions determine the way you play. Now, when India came out into the middle, when they batted with a very positive, proactive approach, and it wasn't working for them. They lost a couple of wickets. They were struggling to get the ball out of the square. They were struggling to get the ball into the gaps. They were not finding the middle. They were finding the middle of the bat, but going straight to fielders. So that's something that we need to also speak about, because I felt that South Africa never learned from that in their approach. Although they did get two amazing deliveries from Kumar. I mean, one of my favorite bloody Indian bowlers. I mean, he's this excellent movie. So like, that ball that Risa got and then Rassi got, gee whiz, that when I saw the ball swinging like that, I kind of said it already. I was like, maybe they're going to struggle a little bit, some of our batters here, because the swinging ball is one of the issues that we've had in the side for quite some time. But Werner, your thoughts going into about this particular win?
Yeah, it wasn't swing as much as it was seam of the pitch. That was the main issue for both of them. But yeah, a very good win for us. I thought Heinrich Klaasen played exceptionally well. We've seen him lay into Yuzi Chahal in the past here in South Africa against him and Kuldeep Yadav, and he just it's like he never left that sort of zone against him, and he really took it to him. I think Pant didn't learn from what Temba did very well, which was kept the spin overs to a minimum, because that seemed to be a lot easier to hit on this pitch than the pace bowlers who we hit it into the wicket and took some pace off was a lot harder to hit on this wicket. So the 4 overs of Chahal I felt was 2 overs too many. But it's difficult when your 6th bowler is Hardik Pandya, was also going at 10 and over. So I guess he didn't have too many options. But yeah, brilliant batting, especially by Heinrich Klaasen. I love the way he took the attack to them. He really didn't hold back after that start. I mean, he was on 4 of 12 deliveries or something like that, and then he made another. How much did he end up on? 78. So he made another 74 of like 34 deliveries. So that was very impressive going from him. He really took to Chahal. I thought we bowled very well as well. I thought Rabada was especially He was really on the ball today. I enjoyed him. Our spinners still, it was a bit of a struggle. I thought Keshav did very well getting Rishabh Pant out. That first delivery was very smart and bowling that one wide and dragged his length back a bit. He saw him coming early and got that wicket, which was the crucial one at that stage, because we do know that Pant could have really taken it to him in that period, and that made a big difference. I think we were able to restrict him to 148 because we regularly took wickets, and the moment you do that, it becomes a lot harder for the batting team. And always thought 148 was within range. The wicket wasn't the easiest. It was moving a bit. It kept low from time to time. But despite our fairly poor start, the power play, I think we were 29 for 3 after the power play, which was we were quite a while way behind the 8 ball. But Heinrich Klaasen just took the momentum from India there and got us back on the front foot. Temba Bavuma did his role very well at the other side as well. He fed him the strike. He upped the rate when he needed to. Loved to scoop over the keeper in the power play as well. I enjoyed that very much. But yeah, that was a crucial partnership between him and Klaasen, and then Muller just kind of continuing his good reign of form, just making an easy 20 not out of 15 deliveries. So all in all, a very good performance. 2-0 up in the series of 5. Exactly what you want. We've now beaten India 7 matches in a row across formats, so that's some going.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, great points there again, and I want to continue the conversation here, but I also want to just add a little bit more to it, Sipo, that you can maybe add to, and that's I want to give also some credit to Mark Boucher as well, please, because like I mean, I've been one of the guys that have been critical when it's needed to be, but I also want to give praise where it's needed to be too, and we need to be as neutral as possible with regards to that. What I like to see is when the camera panned away to Mark. Particularly when we were bowling, when Keshav took that wicket and he celebrated like that, it's great to see that. It's great to see our coach invested in what we are doing, sitting at the edge of his seat, getting excited, getting happy, getting angry when things are not going out. He looked very much invested into this, and a lot of things have to also go to him with the decisions that are made with him between him and Temba Bavuma. They're basically making quite a good partnership over here with regards to bouncing ideas of each other. So Tsepo, what's your thoughts on the game as well as on Mark Boucher as a coach as well?
Yeah, that was basically going to be my point. Essentially, just the team leadership, the team's cohesion is on another level. I'm seeing in the comments here, people are finally starting to see the value that Temba Bavuma has, or adds to the team. And I'm glad that like we played against Rishabh Pant here, who shows you what like a bad captain looks like. You know, a captain that doesn't make the right decisions. Because I feel like we've just been spoiled with so many like 4D chess decisions. We've been spoiled with so much like smart cricket that we don't even we take it for granted. I mean, just the way the bowlers were used, I like took notes because it wasn't just 2 bowlers or this bowler takes this end, bowler takes another end. You take your 2 overs and then I'll swap you in. It was sophisticated. It went Rabada, Parnal, Rabada, Nokia, Parnal. So then Parnal gets a different end. Nokia comes in. Nokia gets taken out. He only gets 1 over. Pretorius comes in. Psych. Nokia comes back in. He's taking the other side. And then Pretorius go. And then the spin twins come in for like just 4 overs. And if you just look at the way this whole thing was planned, if you just look at how the game was managed and how people reacted and how and the wickets that were taken. I was looking at when Heinrich Nokia struck to get, I believe it was Ishan Kishan, who was starting to fly. Started to see Indian players are struggling to get the ball in front of square here with Heinrich Nokia. The only way they're getting runs is behind square with some big shots that are going for 6. What does he do? Stacks up the back end of behind square. Next thing you know, man gets caught at square leg. And that's what's dope about these wickets. You can see that matchups were thought about. You could see that bringing in Wayne Parnell at a specific time with his left arm variation. I'm going to say it because Oppo's here. He always laughed at me when I said that. Yes, left arm pace bowlers are here in the team. And there's backup for it. Guys, the depth in this team is... Heinrich Klaasen just showed the depth that we have in the side. If someone gets injured, I'm genuinely not that worried. Like, because there's a backup. If Wayne Parnell gets injured, Marco Jansen comes in. That's not even like... He hasn't played many games, but I mean, he's been within the system. And just like how everyone's being integrated into the system, I'm really enjoying Like there's this talk about I want to see the best South African 11. I just want to see them play all the time. Guys, what if they get chowed? What if someone gets injured? What if the team composition doesn't flow? What if cohesion isn't there? Guys, we're seeing so much cohesion. It's actually scary. It's another level. It's another
Yeah,
level. I'm
another
like,
level.
Khalid,
wow.
I
Khalid,
know
I'm gonna
Mpo has to
go
leave
now.
at seven.
Yes.
I was about to say, I
I
know
was
Mpo
gonna
has to
say
leave at
one more
7:30.
point.
Can you please give me another point before you leave?
One
Pajul,
more point.
please.
This team's playing well now, but how many times has the South African team played well before a World Cup, and then when they arrive at the World Cup, they look like they don't know how to play cricket? I hope this continues because
Mm.
I don't want to come here on the first day of the World Cup and we've lost the first game of the World Cup. This isn't it. I don't want this anymore.
True.
These guys are literally making us as a nation feel as though these guys are the best in the world. I think this is the best
I
T20
believe.
cricket team in the world right now.
I
But
believe.
it needs to happen when the World Cup comes. These two games were great. I'm loving the two different sides, the low score and the high score. But this has to be replicated a lot more times. Love Mark. Well, yeah, I think he's done a great job. Not necessarily I love him. But done a great job. Done an
I should have
incredible
blown up the
job.
screen. I should have blown up the screen.
But
Love Mark.
look, he's done well, and I think I love the fact that he's even after all that's happened, he's in that box, he's coaching the team, he's there, and he's doing a great job. I just want the series win, but I remember Smith did this, Pollock did this, AB de Villiers did this. They played really great cricket before a World Cup, and then all of a sudden, come October, we're gonna be seeing flames. But really happy with the depth. And yeah, now it's time to give guys an opportunity. So let's see, give Stubbs, maybe even get Markram back in, see what you can get. But I'm loving the whole Parnell Pretorius thing because it's a longer batting lineup, and finally, Dwayne Pretorius is batting at 3. Thank you.
Thank you,
Cheers,
Mpo.
man.
We will see you
Cheers,
again
guys.
very soon. Please come on another show again. We miss you on the show.
I'll try. I was
Cool.
in Cape Town last time, so I couldn't.
Yeah. Oh, you're in Cape Town. You didn't tell me.
I didn't.
I was working. I was working. I didn't have time to
Okay.
see friends. Don't worry.
I'm-
And he still doesn't greet. He's too
I'm
busy
gonna
for
be
your
there
family
in
stuff.
July. Don't worry. I'll come see you in July. Not now.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Po. I
Cool.
know you're
Cheers.
working hard very well. Good luck with everything. Okay, guys. Now is the chance for you guys to call in on the show. Of course, we can't obviously do it straight away, so we have a section where we as panelists talk, and then we're gonna have our call-ins. The call-ins they can the first two callers can stay on the show a little bit longer, but anybody after this link, of course, then you have to say what you have to say, and then you have to basically go, guys, and then we'll rebuttal it. But if you say something weird on the channel, we're going to rebuttal it live on the show. But but other than that, you can call in. The link is in the live chat. If you want to smash the like button, please, guys, get this video trending on social media. So we've got Ashwani over here with us, and we've got Uncle Ravi.
Ashwani.
He's also with us today. So guys, let's start with Ashwani first, and I'm gonna please ask everybody to please mute your mics while someone else is talking, so that we don't have interference. But Ashwani, go first. I would like to hear what you have to say, bro. It's good to see you again on the show. Take it away.
Yeah, first of all, hello to everyone. Yeah, it's another disappointing loss from India and another fantastic win for South Africa. I think the inning that Klaasen playing today, I will call it the great T20 innings. I will say this because in this wicket, even a 40 ball 50 would have been a good one given the target SA were chasing. But I think he's done it in 32 balls, which is fantastic because the pitch is a little bit low down and the bounce is very low. And it's I think the wicket which I think suit the bowlers which bowl a little bit of flatter trajectory, and the way Klassen is playing spin, I think that is fantastic. And we saw Klassen playing spin really well, especially to Chahal and Kuldeep. And I will talk about Yuzvinder Chahal a little bit because I am little bit disappointed with Charles bowling because Chahal is experienced enough to understand that this pitch is offering a lot of grip. Why would he then bowl fuller and take the risk of conceding a boundary when the previous 2 overs of the opposition has scored 32 runs? So I think these are the small things, but obviously these are frustrating things because because Indian bowlers normally bowling the guilty of making that mistake. They bowl going too full, which I time and again, and even Kuldeep and that guy Bishnoi did this in IPL. So I am very disappointing the way they bowl today because the pitch offers that you fold little bit flatter trajectory, like Keshav Maharaj bowl today. So they should bowl that way, and obviously you Indian spinners are disappointing. That's what I want to say. And one thing, little
Ashwani,
bit
before you move
about
on, before you
one
move
thing
on,
about
I
yes,
just want to ask you about that point that you just made because otherwise we get too much information at once. We want to like gradually. You have time, bro. You're going to be on the stream as long as you want. Today you have a special green card. Look here. So when it comes to India and that particularly, I've seen. I can't obviously go with what I'm seeing on Twitter because we know there's a lot of people on that talk crap on Twitter and they just like change and flip flop all the time. But there are some statements that were made now that yeah, this is India's second division team, whatever the case may be, or second string team. They're resting 7 players. So now those excuses are coming out. When I saw a lot of confidence coming from some Indian fans on social media before this, saying that we will still beat South Africa because it's the best T20 players in the country. So can you just add on that a little bit in your opinion on that as an Indian fan as well?
I think if you compare both the teams, there is no doubt South Africa has edge on it. South Africa's team is bit more experienced with the likes of De Kock, though he's not playing today. De Kock, Miller, Klaasen, Babuma, they all are more experienced with the comparison of these younger guys. Obviously, the young guys who are in the Indian team, they have the experience of IPL, but I think they don't play that much T20 cricket. In that perspective, they are right in some way that this is not very experienced side. Obviously, that original captain KL Rahul, he is injured too, and with Kuldeep Yadav. So in that regard, you give margin to them. But I think it's an international game. If you take this team is not too bad. But I think you should give credit to South Africans. They played really well, especially because our bowling lineup is not too bad because the guys like Harshal Patel and Bhuvneshwar Kaur, they are quality T20 bowlers. And even you include Yuzvendra Chahal, he's I think still the best leg spinner in India. But I think in case what I saw in Yuzvendra Chahal's bowling in the last 1 or 2 years, you think if you saw the pattern, South Africans played Yuzvendra Chahal really well after that 2018 series. I can give you the example of that India versus Australia series where Maxwell is continuously reverse swap or sweeping Yuzvendra Chahal because Chahal is normally bowling too full and his bowling speeds are little bit slower. In T20 cricket, you need a little bit your bowling speed must be much higher, like Rashid Khan bowling in that speed. There is a guy called Bishnoi who is bowling at that speed, which is required in T20 cricket. Though it's bit inexperienced, but in the next match you may see Ravi Bishnoi playing the next match. So I think Chahal needs to work on that side. Though he's still the quality bowler, I still rate him in the best leg spinner in India. But I will give credit to South Africa, especially the Mark Boucher, because he himself is a very good player of spin bowling in his time. So I think I should give credit to Mark Boucher because he worked on South African players how to play spin. You have the likes of Adam Markram, who is I think improved as a spin player. Then Heinrich Klaasen, who we saw 2 to 3 years ago, playing excellent against spin with pink jersey on. So I think there is a credit to Mark Boucher as well.
Excellent point. Now, I just want to defend my co-host, Aditya. You guys are coming hard for him in the comment section and saying he said 4-1. He did say 4-1. He'll probably stick to that decision. Guys, he's been very busy this last couple of days. One of his close friends has had a wedding. I forgot to tell you guys that, so my bad. But he's been busy, very busy with a wedding recently. I even got a. He's even shown me obviously a video of him dancing on stage, which I'm not going to share with everybody. If you guys become a patron, you'll see
No,
all
no,
these
no, no. You
embarrassing
need to
things
say
behind
that.
it.
You have to say.
Now you
You
brought it
can't.
up.
You
Now you
can't.
have to
You should have
show.
led with that, Khalid. You should have led with that, man. Come now.
So
You
if
have
you
to
guys
show
if
us.
you guys become a patron, you'll see behind the scenes dancing. Or Werner will do the salsa. You'll see Tsepo also be doing some things there. Join our Patreon account, guys. But look here, Ravi, let's move on to you. Welcome to the show, and then we can go around again to the rest of the guys and get some more open discussions going. But Ravi, what's your thoughts on what would you like to say about this particular match? But let's talk a little bit more about Heinrich Klaasen. I think he needs to get a little bit more airtime over here. We haven't spoken about him enough. I think I've been one of his critics in the past. The problem here for me is again the role shifting. So um, if he's going to play Heinrich Klaasen, I like the position he came in today. Some people will even maybe say that he could move to four and play at four as well. But then there was also some people that said that Miller could possibly play at four. So not everybody can bat at four. So we need to find out a way that we can move the guys around according to certain conditions or certain things. But what happens? What is your thoughts on Heinrich? I mean, what an excellent performance today, and how important was Bavuma's knock to aid him today with regards to that particular um, game plan. Let's just start with Heinrich Klaasen and your thoughts on him.
No, absolutely. So Klassen was certainly seeing it like. Firstly, good evening, everybody. I greet everyone. You're seeing it like a beach ball tonight. There's no doubt in my mind. You wouldn't say that this guy has been out of the spectrum for some time. He came in a pressure situation. I think that's the biggest talking point for me tonight. Not so much what he scored tonight is about where it's more about when he came in. He came in at 74 for three when an informed Rassi van der Dussen also went out. And it was kind of like squeaky bum time for South Africa. Because if you look back at the initial couple of overs prior to that, Bavuma was playing a few shots across square. He was coming down the wicket a couple times as well, playing on the leg side, and he was getting some good runs there. And he was playing somewhat of an aggressive innings in a manner of speaking. And Klaasen just came in and just blazed everyone away. Came in a pressure situation. He came in to fulfill a void of Quinton de Kock. Of course, Klaasen didn't open in this particular instance, but played the role of wicketkeeper batsman and did exceptionally well under the circumstances. It is almost as though he was primed for this. I think 2022 is going to be the year where we see the resurgence of Heinrich Klaasen, the resurgence of Wayne Parnell, and certainly the resurgence of David Miller. All of three of them you could see have improved their games in different ways. Some perhaps more aggressive, others certainly honing on their strengths with ball in hand, in this case, Parnell. I think Klaasen is going to be a guy that I think is going to be a subject for many a debate when we are selecting a first 11. In particular, we may need to look at the roster and see how best we can accommodate him. Or is it going to be a case where he's going to have to fulfill somebody's spot when there's an injury on the team? To be honest, I think Klaasen is too good a talent to not take on board on a full-time capacity, starting off a tournament. And I think the last point I wanted to raise as well is that while I agree with Impo's points from, I think Impo spoke about a little over 10 minutes ago. He spoke about how I think South Africa always looks great prior to World Cup. They're full steam ahead. Things are going very well. And suddenly things sort of start fizzling out on the first game of the World Cup, right? And ideally, I think we just need to be thankful if we got enough depth. I think that's a big takeaway from me. We've got depth. We've got a guy like Klaasen that can come in a pressure situation, that can come in as a sub for Quinton de Kock if he's injured in a situation like that. But I think it's I don't think the team is at risk of necessarily fizzling out. I think we just need to look at the depth of talent we have across the board and take the best possible squad with us come the World Cup at the end of the year. But this is certainly a good exhibition of what's to come, especially in the key moments in the year. And Timber, fantastic innings. We spoke about it last week in Cape Town, Khalid. Yes, I visited Khalid when I was in Cape Town. I recommend you all do that. It's a nice part of town Khalid lives in. Very Lani, very nice, very nice.
No, it's not.
Yeah, the butler was very nice to greet me at the door. And give me some valet parking there. But anyways, that's besides the point. I think that Bavuma played exceptionally well once again. I think he can play the role of aggressor as well as anchor if need be. Yes, I said anchor. That's very much exists in this form of the game. And I think we saw something very promising tonight from Timber Bavuma. 30 runs. Some people might take a snipe at it and say, it's not a 50. But 30 is still a very compelling innings in this form of the game. A very aggressive, fast-scoring 30-odd runs. But yeah, well done to the Proteas. Fantastic win.
Yeah, I mean, people will look at the scoreline and be negative about it, of course. They won't look at the situation. They won't look at the circumstances. They won't look at conditions. That the scorecards don't tell that. I mean, right now, we 2-0 up in India, a place that is very difficult for South Africa to play cricket in. It's been the past. It's been a tough place for South Africa to tour to. And South Africa 2-0 up in two matches where they were in situations in the match where some of us would have been really, really worried. It wasn't comfortable today and it wasn't comfortable yesterday, particularly at that last couple of overs when Dinesh Karthik did what he did. That took it a little bit away from us and we got a bit nervous again, but we were calm enough to get it over the line. And Pavuma's knock was important. It's crazy to me that I'm looking on Twitter and there's Henry David's posted something on Twitter that I retweeted on Cricket Fanatics magazine. So go to our account, go to our retweets, and you'll see it over there. And look at the discussions that's happening in the comments over there, and you'll be shocked to see what has been said. When we're winning matches, there's still negativity around. But can we talk a little bit about Heinrich Klaasen again? I want to hear from Werner and Seppo as well on Heinrich. And what's going to happen with him? Because now, exactly like I'm going to give him a shout out on the show again. But Neil Mack said the same. He said this is a great. That he said specifically the joke was that Victor Mpasang needs to be sponsored by Bernardo because of all the headaches that he'll be having now with regards to selection. So, Werner, that's your type of joke first and foremost. And before I move to you, Ravi, you can't talk about my area because you grew up in the same area as me for years. So it comes so jabs at me. But Werner, with regards to you, that type of joke is down your alley. Thoughts on Heinrich? Victor Mpasang now with selection. Wow, if everybody's fit, we're going to have a proper headache that we're going to be able to, that he's going to have going into selection.
Yeah, it is a bit of a headache. But I still feel we are a better light, so they could possibly fit both in. They could bring Quentin and then bring Markram back in, and then we can drop one of the bowlers. Dependent on the pitch, we might drop a spinner in Keshav. I like the look of two all rounders. I think in Australia it's going to be very helpful having two pace bowling all rounders there. I don't know how effective the spinners are going to be necessarily. Hopefully Shamsi regains his form. I don't think we're going to read too much into two matches here where he's bowled 4 overs in total, or 5 overs in total. So I do think he'll come back strongly again. He just needs some game time. You can see he's had a bit of an off season ahead of this series. So yeah, Klaasen, he's impressed me a lot. I've always liked the look of Klaasen. He was off form last season, and so it didn't go well, and people were on his case the whole time. He lost his contract. He's out of the side. But he went back and performed for the Titans. He really stepped up there. Him and Tienes de Bruin had stellar seasons for the Titans this season, and then he did well at in the SAA series as well. So I'm not surprised. He looks like he's back to that form he was against Australia when he demolished them in that one day series where he was man of the series. And I also wasn't surprised that he took down Chahal because we've seen it before. He's very good against spin. He's very good on the sweep. Not a lot of our players enjoy playing the sweep necessarily, but he's very good with the regular slog sweep, reverse sweep, all the sweeps really. And he has that power game as well. So the moment the bowlers are a touch short, when Chow is a touch short or Akshar Patel is a touch short, he rocks back and just lifts it over mid wicket for six, like it's not no real big deal. But it is an exceptional shot. So it's good to see, and it's good to see him fighting for a place in the 11. It's always good to have that competition. I was kind of not happy that Stubbs is not playing today. I would have still had him in the team. Too bad he didn't get an opportunity to bat in that first match, and now he's out because of team balance. Because Quinny was out, it's almost like he needed to bring in two players because he needed an opener and a keeper. It kind of made things difficult. But hopefully we'll see Stubbs again in this series. That he will have an opportunity to show what he has with the bat. But great to see Klaasen stepping up, making his top score of 81, and showing what he can do and what we have in reserve. And as Chip also says, it's good to see all the backup we do have in the squad. So if we do have more injuries going forward, we do have the personnel to come in and fulfill those roles.
It's almost like the selection of Stubbs, Triple, well, almost gave Heinrich Klaasen an extra incentive to want to show what he's capable of now that he got the opportunity. Do you see him now ahead of Stubbs in the selection now? And it's a bit unfortunate for Stubbsy because he didn't get an opportunity to bat, but he got dropped for this match because of obvious reasons. I know a lot of people said about the wicketkeeper angle, but I know Stubbs he's a wicketkeeper, and he's a wicketkeeper in the past. He doesn't wicket keep for the Warriors because of Chile in the side, so it's a little bit different over there. So, but he was a wicket keeper for his province as a junior. I watched him play in the Kai Majula League as a keeper, and he is capable of doing that. And he's also adding some spinning to his or some bowling to his mix as well. He has spoken about trying to add some bowling to his arsenal as well. Your thoughts on that particular selection? Because obviously people are going to still want to see a future star like Stubbs in and around the squad. But it's great to have him soak up all of this and the energy and be in that camp, learning all of the things and knowing what is expected of him by seeing other players do it.
And that's exactly the point that I was going to say. I don't know why people are like, oh, Stubbs is getting dropped. This man's like 21 years old. Guys, Aiden Markram is still on his way up. He was a generational talent. He was a find. Yes, what a talent. But like, honestly, I only expect Markram to peak at 32. This man has time. He has so much time. And I mean, just the fact that he's in India with the South African side and he's getting game time in the middle amongst all these experienced players, like, I think that's fantastic. You know, Khalid, we've always spoken on the show about how it's about giving the youth opportunities in the side. Look, this is an opportunity. I mean, he might not have gotten a bat, but I mean, he still donned the green and gold. He still got his debut. Cricket isn't only about doing what you're specialist, like what you specialize in. Sometimes you get a thanks for coming. What? So you're just supposed to sit on the bench for the rest of the game? Nah, dog, you have to field. You have to field. He learned a very important lesson with that run out there. Guys, Stubbs has time. He has so much time. So does Dewald Brevis. Like, there was a chat about, why isn't Brevis in the side? Oh, did Brevis get intercepted by Stubbs? No. God, this guy literally just came from the Under-19 World Cup. I think what we're seeing now is that now in this period, we don't need to rush generational talents into the side because we're looking for gaps to be filled, like the way we did when, like, I don't know, when Stiaan van Zyl was in the team, you know, when we're still looking for people. This is a great time in South African cricket. Like, honestly, I actually have hope in the team again. I haven't hoped since 2015, as I think it was Lorenzo Bailey said here. That was the last time we actually hoped for like a World Cup win. And that was the furthest we've gotten in a World Cup, in a tight game. Guys, that New Zealand game was so tight. It was so tight. That there we didn't choke. And I'm going to say it. In 2015, we didn't choke. We lost. So, yes, going back to the whole Klaasen point and Klaasen versus Stubbs, we have a bunch of players right now that are in their primes. In their primes. They're the thinking cricketers. And you don't get this all the time. Like teams are in transition. We were in transition after De Villiers, Amla, Steyn. Now we're done with that transition. Now we have a strong senior group, a strong leadership group, and it feels good. It feels so good. And now the youth can soak it up. We're not being stingy with places either. So it feels like it's just like people are thinking, everything you're thinking about, there's an answer. Like, oh, why aren't the youth getting opportunities? But they actually are. Oh, what happened to the periphery guys like Heinrich Klaasen, Wayne Parnell? Oh, they're actually getting a chance. So, hey, bro, I like this. I like it a lot.
And Ashwani, your point, I want to know your South African point of view. Yeah, you put on your South African fans hat for a little bit. What is exciting you the most about what you're seeing from the South African team? Is it the way they are coping with pressure situations? Is it the fact that there are some clear game plans here, or what is it from your point of view that really makes you happy as a uh, let's think of a ratio here. Is it 60-40 to South Africa or to India? I don't know, eh? For you as a fan.
Saw at the look of South African side and their management. I think after that Mark Boucher's that SGN saga, Boucher is I can say that little bit more can say that he's clear in his mind what he want to do with this South African cricket team, and he give that role to South African cricket side. And also, I want to say that that Tamba Buma and is that type of captain who can bring best out of the players and what he is doing at the moment. So I think the lack of the clarity in the plans of South African management and the team structure, it's pretty much clear what they want in the World Cup. I think there is one or two gaps which South Africa should need to fill for their World Cup plans. One is that another fast bowling all-rounder which they want to see, either that of Felikwayo or Mulder, which they can field in their side, or and one I think spinner who can bat a bit. So I think George Lind is the best option. I think South Africa should try George Lind in the next few matches, so they can see what he can do with the bat. I think he done well with the Kent in county cricket and scored 100 there. So I think he's a decent batter as well. So South Africa should try him.
I went and looked at the stats after everybody was talking about George Linder being far better than Bjorn Fontaine. And I went to go look at the stats in international cricket. I know they've only played. They actually one is I think George has played 13 and Bjorn has played 12. And if you look at the stats, they're like 1 point off each other, 1 wicket difference, 1 point off average, 1 point off strike rate. They are almost exactly identical with the ball in hand when it comes to their for South Africa. I haven't looked at the domestic record, but for South Africa in T20I cricket, as with the ball, they kind of have done similar roles for South Africa. Opening the bowling as well is something that George Linder has done for South Africa. So has Bjorn Fortuin. So the batting aspect of it is going to be the one aspect I feel that distinguishes the two. Verna, I know you're checking it out. Just double check my facts if I'm correct in that. I might have been a little bit tired and sleepy when I didn't look for what I wanted to see. Now, but just double check that if I'm correct. But with the bat, Bjorn Fortuin has come a very long way with the bat. He's really, really improved it. There's a whole show we did on it. We spoke about it. We saw him win a game for the Lions in one day cricket. Maybe for South Africa, we haven't necessarily seen it quite yet. We saw flashes of it in some games. So there is an argument there too that we can discuss about that extra bowler. But I think that the current setup that we have, the two all-rounders, left arm, right hand, the two spinners with Keshav and Shamsi, you can alternate it according to what you need. the bowlers that we have, the world-class bowlers that we have with KG and with Lungi and with as well as Heinrich Nokia. Then you've also got the balance with the batters now. We've got attacking batters, big hitters. We've also got some guys that can play the anchor role. I don't like to use that necessarily because the anchor role is different to the role that I'm asking Timba Bavuma kind of to play. It's not necessarily an anchor role that I'm asking him to play. It's a more consolidation type of role where he's almost like I saw someone say he foils Quinton de Kock. I mean, that's the type of blueprint I would like to see. When I said the way he played today, and I have to say something because I've kept quiet throughout the show now with regards to this particular comment. Temba Bavuma hit quite a few good boundaries today. Some big boundaries today. We can't still keep on saying that this guy can't play cricket in T20s if he's clearing boundaries the way he is. Now, yes, strike rates and all of that, we're going to come talk about it. But for today, there's no point in us talking of, like Werner says, not talk about what ifs. Oh, what if we were chasing 180? What if we were chasing 200? No, we weren't chasing 120. We weren't 180. We weren't chasing 200. We were chasing a 140 plus, or just under 150. So it was a different mentality that was needed, especially with the amount of players that he was losing around him. Keeping his nerve, making sure that he rotates the strike at the right time, hits boundaries to take off the pressure. That one shot that he went out, he switched the blueprint. He went off the game plan. It was something that I hit myself for because it's almost like I jinxed him because I said this is the perfect blueprint that I would like him to play with Quinton de Kock. What he's doing for Heinrich Klaasen over here was very important. Without Temba Bavuma's innings in this particular match, it could have been very different story from a Heinrich Klaasen point of view because you saw Heinrich Klaasen struggling a little bit and Temba taking pressure off him initially. It gave time for Heinrich Klaasen to settle in and play the knock that he did. I'm very interested to hear his press conference after the game because I would like to hear what he has to say about Temba Bavuma specifically. Like what if that was asked in the questions. So it's very interesting to say. Let's go around again. Ravi, do you want to say anything else? You went MIA in a little bit. Oh, Ashwani's gone. Oh, is disconnected. Where is he? Oops. Yeah, Ravi?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
You can hear me. Okay, cool. Yeah, so absolutely. So I think you're quite right. I think that is a blueprint that I think all the batters are sort of aspiring to play towards, or rather the game plan they're playing towards. And it seems to be very some fruit. And I think you're quite right as well, Khalid. In fairness, they were only chasing 148. And they haven't really been, they've been tested in the first T20 where they did end up chasing over 200. And more or less the same batting lineup, barring Heinrich Klaasen being absent in the first match. They managed to successfully chase that total. So I think, I suppose we'll have to see how this goes for the rest of the series, what sort of direction Patron and team are going to take. But if I was them, I wouldn't make any wholesale changes necessarily. I would love to see some stuff get given a go, but perhaps when it's confirmed that we are over the line, just to see what it is that he's capable of at the international level. And while he is 21 years of age, I think that's a fantastic age to get given a shot at this level of the game. And
what's happening with
you guys still there?
You're breaking up, Ravi.
Is it my side? Is it me?
I don't know. I think so.
Is it you?
No, it's definitely not me. Come on, continue.
Yeah, yeah, because you're in a nice part of Cape Town. I forgot, where you can see Table Mountain very nicely. Yeah, but anyways, yeah. So I think this is definitely a very good, very positive start in a manner of speaking. Our T20 record from last year was quite comprehensive, was quite compelling. And it's good to see that we carried out the positive form from last year up until now. And I think, as I said before, to my earlier point, we've got fantastic depth in the team. more so than what was the case last year. So I think I'm not going to commit to saying anything about the World Cup tournament towards the end of the year, but I think the risk of fizzling out before the tournament or hitting our peak before the tournament is curbed on the wayside because we got such a massive depth in the team.
Mhm. Now, I want to ask you this, Shepo. Um, like, I know, like, I was disappointed, very disappointed when when, when, um, when Temba went out, because of the shot that he played in that particular moment. I kind of wanted him to maybe nudge a single and give the strike back to Heinrich Klaasen, because that's the type of role I want to see him play when there's a attacking striker on the other end that's in form and playing well. I want to put him to play that supportive role for them, take the pressure off them, and give them the best opportunity to smack the ball out the ground, etc. But you can add a little bit to that if you want to. But I also want to ask you one question, and that is, Heinrich Klaasen earns his spot, in my opinion, for the rest of the series, unless at least for the next match. And then I think we could possibly keep him for the rest of the series, and then maybe rest one of the other guys, like maybe Miller, or we can maybe rest some of the other guys, like maybe Rassi or something. Give them some time off, because they've been like soldiers for South Africa, playing every single match they've been available for white ball cricket. They deserve a kind of a rest in a way, or perhaps even look at resting one of the all-rounders maybe, or something. I don't know, to do one of those type of things, to give Tristan Stubbs a go in the last two. If we can if we can get 3-0 up in by winning the next match, then it gives us that opportunity to be able to maybe try Tristan Stubbs. Do you maybe think that that's an option going to the rest of the series?
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past South Africa to carry on experimenting with depth, giving opportunities to different players. But I think that there's there've been lots of conversations within the cricketing fraternity about matchups, especially since like stats have come into the game. You have the best team to play in the best conditions. So I think that's what's going to determine whatever decision that South Africa takes. Because another thing that we could also discuss is why, choosing to bat first anytime we win the toss. Why are we trying to defend totals in like a way to prepare for the World Cup? Preparation, trying to cover all your bases. It's all the same here. And I think that the conversation is got a lot to do with matchups. So, for example, if we see that the wicket isn't going to give that much turn, then you don't have both Tabraiz Shamsi and Keshav Maharaj in the same team. Then that's where you can find space for another batter, and that's where you can give someone else an opportunity. So what I'm seeing and what like the feeling that I'm getting from the way we're playing, the decisions that we're making, and when we're making them, is that it is like case by case. So there may be some grand plan, but I think for T20 specifically, because of the way things can change within an over, the whole complexion of a game can change. You sort of need to make decisions on the fly, and that's the only way you're going to get to the end. And what South Africa are trying to do is make sure that they have roles covered. I was speaking to a selector when I was doing commentary for the SAA series, and what he was talking about was having 17 players in an 11-player team. So you're packing the team with all rounders. You're packing the team with people that offer you more. You're asking more of your batters. Give them a ball. You're telling your bowlers to get in the net. So yeah, case by case basis, we'll see, and maybe that will indicate what the plans are. But maybe we don't know what the plans are. And one thing I also want to mention in terms of giving opportunities, Werner mentioned this earlier, and Lorenzo is mentioning it now. Like Lungi Ngidi, where is he? I haven't seen him play any cricket like at all. So yeah, that's also a very interesting conversation.
Werner, you should have told me I'm saying your name wrong. Every day I'm calling you Werner.
It doesn't bother me. I go by many
Yeah,
names.
but I know I would like to say it properly. I'll try my best at least to say it properly. Werner, I want to ask you about particularly our bowling. Um, the death bowling situation. We have so many options, and the way it is currently, we've got Wayne Parnell that can bowl death. We've got Wayne Pretorius can bowl death bowling. Heinrich KG, like everybody actually, except our spinners maybe. Um, who is your preferred death bowler? Is it got to do with conditions as well? Do you change it around or match situation? Because we see that Dwayne does well when he does the wide Yorkers. He's trying to do other roles as well. You're seeing him testing different lengths to what he did in the World Cup. And Wayne Parnell actually trying to go for those in-swinging Yorkers a lot. KG, we know what he can offer, and Heinrich, we know we can offer based on what he's done in the IPL. Even though you can't compare IPL to international cricket, I've said it so many times. Aditya obviously disagrees with me on that point. But yeah, I won't compare it. What's your thoughts on that? Before we have our last say, because it's storming here and I can see that the connection is cutting out.
Um, I'd like us to be flexible. You've named quite a few that we have tried in the dev now, and I think it should change based on what the pitch is telling us and how the bowlers are going in a particular match. So let's say Wayne Parnell is having a fantastic day and KG is having a fantastic day, but the other two is struggling a bit. Then go with KG and Parnell at the dev, and we can swap that around. Let's say Norkia is having a great day, is coming well out of the hand because we know that Norkia can bowl a lethal Yorker. So I think we need to be flexible in that case because we don't have necessarily two out and out dev bowlers like let's say Arshal Patel and Bhuvi Kumar. They have done that type of Dave bowling specifically a lot. So I'd like us to be flexible in that regard. Go with the players who are feeling up for it on the day. If the pitch is holding up and is slow and difficult to hit, then go with Dwayne Pretorius because he's good with those slower balls into the wicket, wide of the crease. But if it's a different kind of wicket that you need 5, 6 Yorkers in the over, then you go with Rabada and Norkia or Parnell. So I think we need to be flexible, but it's good to have options because death bowling has been a struggle for us for a long time. And I think we will only really be tested when we set a total. As Chepo said, it will be good if we do set a couple of totals bad first in the series at least 2 times going forward. And let's test ourselves. What score can we get to? If we're not chasing something, we need to assess the pitch and say, okay, well, this is not a 160 pitch, this is a 190 pitch, so we need to go harder earlier. Or no, this pitch is being a lot more difficult. So if we can work our way up to 160, we back ourselves to defend that, as we did last year quite a few times in the West Indies. So I think it's going to be a lot about assessing the wickets, and then your bowlers might change as well based on what the wicket is when you're defending the total. So I think there's a lot to take into account, and that's why I like Temba as a captain because he does take everything into account. He's very strategic. I like the way he uses our bowlers and operates the field. I've seen Maharaj help with the field as well. So I feel like we have the right players within the setup for us to go out going forward.
Okay, let's get some final words in over here. Uncle Ravi, we're gonna go to Ashwani, Tsepo, and then we're gonna end off with Werner for the final words.
Yeah, no, I think we're going to finish well. Great start, 2-0. And I suppose the final word is that for those people that are saying that India is feeling a second string team, I think that's absolute rubbish, largely because every single member of that Indian squad has played at least 4, maybe 5 years of IPL cricket for the most part. So that for me is a sublime experience. It sort of outweighs international experience in the matter of speaking. In fairness to them, though, I will throw them a bone to say that to play as a unit is a completely different challenge in its own right. But you're an Indian team fielding an Indian squad playing in India. You guys, I mean, the home side should know the conditions the best. I think the third T20 is going to be very telling. They're going to come back more aggressive. And this is going to be where we're going to see Um, Possibly the best game of the series, I'm guessing. What's the space?
Ashwani, you just have to unmute first, and then you can go.
Yes, I think obviously there is a high chances of South Africa will win the series. Most probably 3-2 or 4-1, or maybe 5-0 clean sweep. But I will don't take this as a, you can say that India should go down. But I think it's a good opportunity for Indian team to test their bench strength, because after this series, India at least playing 17 to 18 T20 matches before the World Cup, including Asia Cup as well, because we don't know the obviously Asia Cup will be held in Sri Lanka, so their latest dates is confirming. So India will playing around 17 to 18 T20 matches. So there's enough matches to find out what will be the India's core in the upcoming World Cup. So we all know that it's revolving around Virat and Rohit. So I think 2-3 players which India need to find in these 17 to 18 T20 matches, which I think they should find. India, I think, should not be demoralized with the loss. Uh, there's no doubt that this Indian team has quality and the strength to bounce back from these defeats. But I think Rishabh Pant need to be a little bit more proactive with his captaincy, and in coming time he need to work on his fitness, because over the time I see his lower torso is bit heavy. Due to this, he's you can say that suspected in his shot making, because I am also keeper when I played in my under 16s or under 14s. So my coach always tells me that the wicket keeper's weight should be 5 kg lesser than his actual weight. So Pant has to work on his fitness aspects as well. So I will tell that India can bounce back in the series, but yes, they should be little bit you can say that proactive in their approaches. And I would like to saw some changes like Ravi Bishnoi or Arshdeep or Imran Malik come into the team. Rest I will go with the same squad.
I thought you wanted to say Uncle Ravi in the team. Okay, Chip, your thoughts, and then and Werner lost.
So yeah, just in this time, I'm not going to get ahead of myself and start saying that South Africa are the best team, the best T20 team in the history of rah 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 rah. All I'm saying is that it looks like we have a plan. All I'm saying is that it looks like these guys like know what they're doing. And that's all I want to see as a fan. I don't mind losing matches. I don't mind losing semifinals if you put up a good fight, And what I'm seeing from these guys is a good fight. What I'm seeing from these guys is team cohesion, you know. And I'm seeing it with quotas. I'm going to say it. Like, I'm seeing it with black people, with colored people, with Indian people, and we're meeting quotas. And I feel like if we win a trophy with quotas, that's something we couldn't achieve without them. So, yeah, like come at me in the comments about quota. Where? Yes, quotas. Yes, we have them. Welcome to South Africa. That's what we have to deal with. And like going to the behind the scenes, like what makes this team so dope as like a South African is that this is the team that had to go through SJN hearings. This is the team that had to go through taking the knee. And this is the same team that got through all of that. Like, it got through all of that cuck. The same cuck that's happening in the comments, the same cuck that's happening on Twitter. Like, this team is like, away. We'll take it, and we're going to win games now. We'll take the national requirements for quotas, and we're going to win games now. And that's what's dope about this team. They're not crying about stuff. They're not this one. Here's an excuse. Here's another excuse. These guys are playing cricket, bro. And they're working with what they've got, and they're getting the best out of everybody. It's like it's such a vibe. So yeah, I'm very happy with just how the team looks right now, where Cricket SA is right now. Because I mean that's a whole other thing as well. So yeah, I'm a very happy South African cricket supporter.
And whoever the person is that just commented on Temba Bavuma's press conferences with a whole lot of monkey emojis, you're banned for life. Simple. Done. Bye. See you later, bro. Fuck off. Okay, Werner, your thoughts?
And on that happy note, it's good to see us performing as well as this. I feel like we've got like a set plan and form for T20s and also for test matches. It's been looking up of late. I feel like Algar has been leading us well there as well. And we've got a bunch of youngsters coming in Janssen and Keegan Peterson and the whole lot. It seems like it's working now. We just need to figure out our ODI side and why we are 11th on the Super League table and why we might potentially have to play qualifications just to get into a World Cup. So hopefully we get that sorted as well. But it has been looking a lot better. So it's good. It's good to see us 2-0 up in the series. Hopefully we continue in the same way. I hope actually that we bat first in the next match, so that we can see how we do setting a total and defending a total as well. I do feel we do have the players to do that. I think Markram is out for one more game in terms of isolation, so he won't be back. So we'll probably go with the same side, especially if they still want to rest Quinny's finger. I don't know how serious the injury is, if he might be back in the series or if he's out of the series. I haven't really read up too much about it, but maybe go in with the same side and then if we do win it, then try out the other guys. I would personally. I'd give Ngidi a lot more game time because he hasn't been playing. The poor bloke has been around teams but not been playing. It must be so frustrating for him, and I'd love to give him a go. I think he'll play with so much passion, and he just needs some game time. I do like Ngidi, and I think he has a lot to offer for this team. He's got one of the more lethal slower balls in our team as well. And he might also be a dev bowling option, possibly. He didn't do that well for China as a dev bowler, but he does have those options as well. So it'll be good to see him, good to see Stubbs again in the series. But all in all, things are looking up. So happy fan here.
Guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to smash the like button. Please comment, share, subscribe. Click the notification bell for all future videos as well. I'm really enjoying these review shows. It's been excellent, guys. You guys supported us so well on both the shows that we've done. Keep it up, please. We want to continue and growing as a family and as a base over here, because it's very important that we do as a fan base. This is your place to have your say, to give your thoughts, to have a free reign to say things within reason, of course, but to say things that you believe about cricket and have your own opinions. We want to voice them as best as possible. We'll be doing these shows as call-ins, so you guys can call in on the shows. We'll put links in the live chat, in the comment section, for you to call in on the show and have your say too. But thanks a lot for tuning in. We'll see you again tomorrow for another daily show. Possibly, when is the next game? It's on Tuesday. I think it's on Tuesday.
Actually, not sure. To be honest, I think it might only be on Wednesday.
Okay. I think I got it over here.
Give me a couple of seconds and I'll tell you.
I got it over here. It's Tuesday,
it's Tuesday.
3:30. Okay, cool. So we'll do a preview show tomorrow, definitely. And I think Aditya will be back. So you guys can get your...
Are we going to roll him in with the video of him dancing?
I can't do that to my guy. He's going to be upset that I even mentioned it.
I second that.
No, bro, it was quality though. I'm not even making jokes over it. It was quality. Like, it was really awesome. But yeah, I couldn't see it.
So then we need to see it. We need to see it.
You have to ask. I'll ask him for permission first, guys. I don't want to embarrass people on the show, please.
Jeffo also voted in, so 3-1. So And that's
Khalid
why
doesn't
Yeah.
want
that's
to
why they
embarrass
offer bonus.
people, but he's been calling me by the wrong name for 2 years now.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah,
even
it's
correct
about
me.
time.
You,
Yo,
but
Khalid, dog, he got you there, dude.
but you guys
You've
all
been
you
embarrassing
guys
the time
no
for
no
2
wait
years.
wait you guys have been calling me by the wrong name for the last 2 years as well.
How do you say your
So
name?
it's Khalid, not
Khalid.
Khalid. Yeah, Khalid.
Khalid. Must we all
It's
go
a
around and
car.
say our name
I told
properly because
I told
people
my
are
friend
Khalid.
once.
wondering my name.
Khalid.
I told my buddy
Khalid.
Craig once. I
Khalid.
told him
Khalid.
it's like a soft summer breeze, you know, Khalid. You know. I
Khalid.
told my friend once. Yeah, but anyway,
You're
guys,
now
thanks
going
a
to
lot
tell us
for.
his uncle Ravi.
Uncle.
I'll take that. I'll take it.
Guys, please smash the like button. I want to see 50 likes on this video at the end of the video. Thanks a lot for tuning in, and we'll see you guys again tomorrow with another daily show. Well done, South Africa. Let's make it 3-0. Peace.